Shit 90 Shows Taught Me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.
Are you ready to watch a clip show for the finale of Felicity? Neither were we. Welcome back to Shit 90 Shows Taught Me. I'm Jess Sterling, here with my co-host, Sarah Humphrey. Sarah, how are you?
I wasn't ready for it. And I don't know if I'm currently ready for it. I was gooped and gagged. I did not expect it, but you know, this show is called Shit 90 Shows Taught Me. And that is so 90s to just put in a fucking clip show. Do shows still do clip shows? Because I don't think so.
No, because there's not like 20-something episodes of a season anymore. So there's no time. There's no time.
Because I do think that there's a world when you have like 23 episodes in a season. I do think nobody likes them, but I do think it's appropriate, especially for a series finale, like a final season of a show, to implement a clip show. Maybe not one that's only had 4 seasons, but like I'm just thinking to Friends. Like Friends had 10 seasons. It was super appropriate at some point in time to do a clip show.
Yeah, they had a lot of clip shows
in the last season. But not the finale, unless it was the finale. Do you remember? I don't remember. But
the finale was not a clip show.
We have so much to talk about, and we have like literally the person that is single-handedly probably the reason why we are standing here today talking about Felicity.
Yes.
So it only makes sense to have this very special guest with us today.
Yes, DBK is here. I don't know whether or not to thank him or blame him, but he is here. He is the reason why we covered Felicity single-handedly. He's the one who got us to cover it. So DBK, what do you have to say for yourself?
So we didn't like the finale is what you're saying to me? So
I have many thoughts on the finale.
We gotta change timelines, guys. We gotta find the one where they like the finale.
Liked it? Listen, I will never be
fine with the finale. It's good. It's good. I have the same beef. Knowing what I know, I have the same beef, but I like the finale.
Yeah, we'll get into the Elena of it all because yes, we've seen the deleted scenes. We will talk about all of that, but yeah. Here's the thing: this show, up until season 4, I was like, I'm here. I'm ready for it. Then season 4 starts. Sarah and I are like, this is garbage. Like, we hate this. They're ruining all the characters. They're doing terrible things. We don't like anything they're doing. Then time travel happens. And I was like, this is so unhinged. I love it. Like, this is like, we're making trash into treasure. Like, we are literally taking a heap of garbage and spraying perfume on it. And I'm here for it. Okay. I was here for the time travel shenanigans. And then I was like, oh, Elena died. Okay, great. We're going back in time. We're going to like spend so much time with Elena. We're going to like give her flowers. We're going to do all this. No, Elena, they said, fuck you, Elena. Fuck you, Elena. We don't care about you. We don't want you on our show. We're going to give you dumb side plots with Javier. And then we're going to kill Noel. We're going to kill Noel. And then Felicity's going to have to decide, do I want to be with Ben or do I want Noel to live? And Elena is in no part of that equation at any point in time. It's infuriating. And Noel dies and I was laughing. I was laughing at the end of the penultimate episode. For those who don't remember, we're covering 2 episodes here today. We're covering I gotta calm down because I've been holding in these thoughts. I watched these episodes 2 weeks ago and I swear to God, my brain almost exploded. Like I couldn't sleep for the amount of anger that was in my system. I think my heart rate was at a cool like 120. Like I was really having a time of it. And then after Noel dies and I'm laughing and I'm giggling and I'm like, this is hee hee ha ha, this is ridiculous. This show has the absolute audacity to feed me a clip show as the finale. So DBK, I just want to say, thank God we are here today covering 2 episodes, because if Sarah and I had covered the episode 21 and then come on this podcast to cover a clip show as a podcast, I think I would have rage quit the podcast. Like I literally would have screamed and then that would have been 2 minutes of just screaming would have been the podcast for the finale, DBK.
It's a fair critique, but to be fair, it's not like a full clip show. I mean, it's only like 16 minutes of a 44-minute show.
It is a lot of clips in a finale where we spend almost no time with Elena, who has died seemingly, but is she back? We'll talk about
it. It's over 16 minutes. I timed it because I wanted to know for the Elena thing. So
it's 16 minutes of clips.
No, there's 21 clips that they use, and it's over. I
see.
I like.
So less than a sitcom's amount of time.
I stopped keeping track on my first watch at 16 clips, and that was over 16 minutes. So it's probably at least like almost half of the show is a clip show, right? Because there is the little bit with Kurkovsky and Felicity, right?
So upsetting. Sarah, I want to know your reaction to obviously everything, but most importantly, the fact that they fed us a clip show as the finale.
So I was pretty big surprise, pretty meh about it. Like, I was just like, well, like, whatever. I wasn't very pressed about it until our friend, and we can talk about this later, sent us kind of a behind the scenes clip of, I guess it was probably on some DVD content or something, ultimately about Elena, and about they had scenes that would explain the end, because like the big thing, like, it didn't even matter. Like, I was just like, going through life. But then when I saw Elena at the end of the finale at the wedding, I was just like, what the fuck? Like,
how? Why? When?
And then, like, the fact that they have written an explanation for it. And our biggest critique the last 5 episodes since we did the time travel has been like, why is Felicity being so selfish, so self-centered? Why is she only focusing on the boys? And the fact that they decided to cut the biggest thing that we had to complain about, that actually made me angry. And like, we all know, like, if you've been with us for a while, it really takes me a while to get like really mad, because it was insulting. And like, the worst part of it was whoever the fucking dude, the editor that made the decision, he had like the audacity to be like, yeah, there was just like so many clips, like, I really just like couldn't say what we could cut and what we could not cut.
I had a list.
They chose the shit that they chose in the clips to keep in over a major plot device that would answer so many questions. And they're like, the two of them, the editor and whatever his face is called, but J.J. Abrams was like, yeah, like, we would have never anticipated that people would have this question about like how, like, are you fucking an
what are you talking about? And even we're just going to talk about the Elena thing, because I cannot.
I think that's the only thing that we care about, right?
I can't hold it in. I can't hold it into my body. I'm going to list a few things that they thought were more important than explaining the Elena thing. Mm-hmm. Sean motorboats the air. Smooth Ace clips. Sean acting like a chicken. Sean discovering Judaism, only to like literally forget that for the rest of the series. Like, truly, these are the things we thought were more important than explaining the Elena thing. And I'm going to play later a voicemail from our friend Todd, because he is maybe one of the most enraged people I've met about the time travel shenanigans and the fact that it literally makes no sense. Like, even if for those of you who didn't see the Elena clips, we can include them in the show notes, but basically the gist of it is, when Felicity is still in the past, before she time travels back to the future, she goes to Elena and she says, listen, girly pop, you cannot go to Columbia, okay? You cannot go there. Please, you have to go to...
It's her number one choice.
Yeah, it's her number one choice. She has to go like Duke or some other school. She cannot go. Instead of just being like, girl, stay inside on this day at this time. No, she's making Elena go to a completely different college, but whatever.
I would rather do that. Like, I wouldn't even take a chance. I would like...
just no Columbia. Yeah. So she says, no Columbia. You can't go to Columbia. And then she travels back to the future, and apparently, though, even though Noel is alive in the future timeline, Elena is also alive because of what Felicity told her, which makes no sense, because you can't have both. You can't have both. Either Noel has to be dead or Elena has to be dead. They can't both be alive.
I guess so, but like, also the fact that like Noel still marries Zoe. I don't know. It's
well,
very
they try to say it's a
confusing.
dream too. They try to say it's a dream.
Well,
Well,
I think that was just like an easy
That's-
thing. I think it did happen, right?
That's
BBK?
that's the cover. Like that's the question I guess you have at the end of the show is like, where do you fall? Did Felicity travel back in time, or did since they cut the Elena thing, or
She
did she
had
just
to have. How
had
else is
this
Elena
wild?
alive?
Well, yeah. So I
But
tried
then
to.
even still, it doesn't. Ugh.
Yeah, no, it opens up way more questions because in my brain it is she travels back to the same point in time, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
she
so-
wakes up the morning of the wedding. Yeah.
Right. So then it's like a whole like lost thing of like did she now go back and all the stuff she did in the time travel shenanigan actually happened, but she traveled somehow by traveling back the fire didn't happen, like because I tried to watch the scene to like pinpoint, because my best knowledge is she tells Elena the night before she goes to sleep with Ben
Right.
that like, hey, don't go to Duke. So then it makes even less sense.
Yeah, I think like in my headcanon, she goes to Krakowski or wherever the fuck that dude's name is like, look, I have to clean up some of the shit that I did. So now we have to go back to where she was again, fix that shit, be like, okay, no, don't go into the fire. Elena, don't do this. Like, I feel in my head,
So she goes back in time again?
that in my head canon, this is what she
Okay.
does. To make it make sense a little bit, she goes back again, then finds Krakowski again, and then says like, I need to go forward. It doesn't make sense, but like that's the only thing that in my brain makes sense, that she has to clean up the shit that she already did in order to go forward and have everything work out. And also be like, and by the way, Elena, like your marriage is not going to happen, but maybe it should because Tracy's a good guy. I was
Yeah,
like,
Tracy's there at the end too. Like
Yeah.
the fact that they didn't give us any explanation for, because when Elena shows up in the wedding, I was full on like, what the fuck is Elena doing here? Like I had no understanding because hey, they didn't include those freaking clips that are important. Instead, they gave us smoothies. It is so insulting to like think that clips are more important than a major plot point.
Can we pull up that dude saying that? Because that one clip, I think, is what set me over the edge the most. When he was like, there's so many important clips. It's so hard to choose.
It's absolutely insanity. Because I was very upset that it was a clip show. Like, let's be real. I was incredibly annoyed that I was wasting, because I had just watched the like, Noel is dead, right? Like I just watched that scene. I went straight into the finale. And I was like, the moment they went all the way back to the pilot and we're showing a clip, I literally sent like Todd, I was like, is this finale a fucking clip show? And he sent me the gif of Robert Downey Jr. in like an interview going, maybe. I swear that was the point that my head exploded and there was no going back from there. Like I was angry for the remainder of the episode.
It's so funny because like I don't hate that it's a clip show, because the premise is right. She's telling these stories and they're using the clips to like, but the clips that they use are totally like, I like a lot of them. I like listed them all, but the crazy thing is some of them go on so long. You could have cut like needed like this part of the clip. You could have just played that and like you could have found the Elena time. That's what's like the craziest thing to me, because like I marked them.
The things they kept, like the other thing that really pissed me off was the clips they chose for Elena. It was like, oh, Elena's a baddie, but she's also a softie. Well, because it's like, what the fuck? Like, we don't even mention that Elena died. Like, we just are like, well, she punched people. Well, that's her character.
Because in that timeline, she's alive, right? Like,
no, but she died in the other one, and she doesn't even mention it.
No, I know.
Oh, it was so annoying.
She's like kind of sad. Like I know, like but technically she goes like you were like, don't tell her to go to Duke. Do just something like, don't save her good enough. Like,
so in her head, she did do the work because just because we didn't see it.
Sure. I guess
that's why
it doesn't make sense though, because we didn't see that clip in the episode, so like I didn't know when it happened, right? Like it's all very confusing.
If you just watch the show, you'll never know Felicity saved Elena. So all the people that said like Felicity sucks and is selfish, like go screw you, she saved Elena in the end. You just don't know it.
But the other thing is, I feel like one of the other things that really pissed me off was she never, like, this entire 5 episodes or however much time we spent in this past timeline, she spends almost none of it with Elena. Like, if you knew your friend died, like you, Sarah, if I was like, oh, Sarah died, no, then I need to go and spend time with you and actually spend time with my friend. But she doesn't do any of that.
No.
And worst of all, the show is like, fuck you, Elena. You're going to spend maybe 10 minutes of 5 episodes with freaking Javier. Doing what?
Practicing his theater with him. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty insulting. I think that we could go for minutes and minutes and minutes and complain about complain about how they handled the entire Elena thing. It is absolutely infuriating. I mean, DBK, so you weren't that bothered by it. At least, like, I would love to know, like, your reaction initially during your first watch about how you interpreted Elena coming back without the context of that interview that I assume that you saw in the DVD.
I was like,
extras.
I was waiting because I watched this all like on DVD. So I famously, because I went away in 99, 2000, so I didn't have like American TV. So I was like behind a season. So then I was like catching up on DVD. So when I bought the DVDs, season 4, when I was like all caught up, hadn't come out. So I was like waiting and waiting and waiting for season 4. And then season 4 happens. And I just, so I watched the deleted scene like immediately, like after the show. So I like wasn't that like I wasn't that bothered because I'm like, oh, okay. Like I was just like, oh, like this is weird that like why wouldn't they put this in the show? Because I was like, this is good, Elena. Like because Elena's like there for a brief second, and then you have like the nice like, hey, because the very last scene, Todd probably told you, is Sean like actually like talking to the cast and just saying like nice things.
No.
So the wedding at Noel's wedding, there's the shot of them all sitting at the table, and Sean is giving a speech, and that's written in the show. But that was like the last day of filming. So they told Sean, they told Sean like, you know, just talk about the show.
Okay.
To get like actual reactions.
Right. And we'll get like, you know, good shots that like will work.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to the penultimate episode, because like that did have a lot of plot to it. And I thought that I didn't mind this episode because it kind of, I think that I had to come out eventually to Ben and Noel that Felicity thinks or believes or actually time traveled. And I think that I don't think that it's a wild take for Ben and Noel to be like, ooh, are you? I don't know. This girl is like,
she
okay.
sounds insane.
She does sound crazy.
When she says to Noel, like when he's like, oh, I got a job as like the you know, the advisor. She's like, oh yeah, I knew that. Oh wait, no. Like she sounds cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And then she tells Noel, I am a time traveler. Noel rightfully is like, girl has issues. I'm gonna go tell Ben. Ben walks in on her like putting blood in a pot, trying to do a spell. Like, of course she's gonna sound nuts. And they make her doubt whether she herself, like she thinks maybe I'm losing it. She agrees to go to like a hospital and talk to somebody. And this is where I was like, I feel like the show is maybe showing its age a little bit, DBK, because I was like, is this like because Ben ends up having to sneak her out. I'm like, this seems like it should be a voluntary thing to be here. No one, it's not like her parents have come in and been like, we are putting you in this mental hospital and you can't come out. You know what I mean?
I don't know how hospitals work. I assume like I always thought for like mental health stuff, like if you get checked in, you can like not get checked out, right?
Yeah, I thought like I was
that's that's a dangerous thing to
I guess it depends, right? Like it depends on how old you are and if you're in
the actual like mental problem, right? I'm just saying, like if you check yourself in and you have like a serious like mental issue, they could be like, oh,
I don't know. But it was just very strange, right? That like, so Felicity voluntarily goes in, but she also like she's planting seeds. And this was smart. I'll give Felicity this. Her saying to Ben, call your dad, he's sick. He has an AA sponsor named he is a sponsor to a girl named Lauren. Like she's giving him information he doesn't already have to prove that she is indeed from the future. So I thought that was actually really smart of her, because unless she knew DBK, like, oh, on this day, this worldwide event is going to happen, right? Like, let's for instance say like 9/11, right? Like if she knew a big event was going to happen and could pinpoint that, that's another way she could do it. But she didn't purposefully go in the past, you know, so she wouldn't have already memorized that.
Well, she's giving Ben information. There's no way she can know this. Like she can't say, like for us, she can't really say something to Noel that like would tell Noel. Like she can tell Noel stuff he's gonna do in the future, but that just makes.
But he doesn't know Zoe yet, so it's not.
That just makes her look crazy. Where like
you
like Ben could try and rationalize it and be like, oh, my dad's like an alcoholic. You know what I mean? But like, how does she know Lauren?
Right. And this is all the very pro Ben agenda of these final few episodes. Like we are giving Ben all of the positive stuff in terms of he's the first one to believe Felicity because Lauren calls him about his dad. He tries to go to Noel. Oh yes, DBK.
I just like to point out Ben does not believe. I watched it 2 times. He does not, because I was just gonna say he doesn't believe her like 2 times. He actually doesn't believe her 4 times before the.
Oh yeah.
The.
He doesn't believe her until he has proof, right? Like he doesn't. Yeah. Megan is the only one who really
for the Ben truth
believes her, generally speaking. And
Megan's just like, don't commit me, which is fair.
Girl, yeah, I get it. But maybe also if I'm Megan, Sarah, I'm probably like, hey, Elena, or hey, literally anybody else. Should we talk about Felicity? should we talk about what's happening right now? But she's just like, she's not hurting anybody. She's fine.
I think that we need to like maybe a world of like in between Megan that's like, yeah, like she's just doing her own thing versus
she's busy. Yeah.
Versus like she's not hurting anybody versus like putting her straight into the hospital. Maybe something in the middle.
Yeah.
So can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
So with the whole like time travel thingy, do you guys don't like, because you're not happy with like the characters and stuff, but you don't like Felicity's whole vibe of like, you don't find it like amusing that like she can't keep in that she knows things that she's like always.
I think it's hilariously stupid. Yeah, like it's very funny that she can't stop sounding like a lunatic because she keeps saying things like, oh yeah, I knew that, or oh yeah, of course, like yeah, oh I know for a fact you're gonna be great at med school, Ben. It's unhinged.
Okay.
I love it, but I think also she doesn't understand time travel well. So Ben, once he believes Felicity because he knows about the whole thing with his dad, and Felicity meanwhile has met Zoe. Sarah, when we met Zoe and we were like, Girly Pop just literally looks like every other girl that Noel has dated.
Yeah.
Never in my life would I have imagined she would be this integral to the plot of season 4.
Yeah. I mean, it would be so much better if we met the Zoe girl in season 3. Like, let's just have her establish. Although, okay, DBK, when did she show up in season 4? Was it like the first episode?
No, she shows up like once Noel gets the graphics job. So
Okay,
it's like
so not until like halfway
probably
through the
like
season.
5 or 6, probably.
Okay. So it would be better if she showed up at the end of season 3 or the beginning of season 4, just so that we could care about her. Like, if I was like, this is actually going to be Noel's wife, like the person that he chooses to be with, then like I would be a lot more interested in her from the very start. I do think that they did a decent job of planting that seed because, like, I remember she had mentioned that she wound up going to a mental facility because of a breakup with a guy. And the fact that they brought that back in this state and then like how the timelines lined up, I actually did do that, like that. And I thought that it was done pretty well, which makes me question, like, was that intentional? Like,
I don't think
how much of it is intentional, or were they like, ooh, this can like really tie in well with like the Felicity storyline? Because like it's so unclear. Like, we had 17 episodes, then we got 5 more. When were the 5 additional ones written? Because we know that there was an elapse in filming. So I mean, like, the whole thing is a bit of a question mark. But I did like how they included that. I thought that was really smart, and a nice tie-in, because like I think that just to give both Felicity the character and Felicity the show some like validity with all of this, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I liked that when Felicity says like, oh, I know one of my friends is like, you're going to marry him. And she says, oh, Patrick, because that's obviously the guy that she was like dating at the time that ends up having all the issues, which leads to her being in the mental hospital. I agree with you, Sarah, even though I doubt it was something they knew from the moment they wrote the character of Zoe with this backstory. I don't think they were like, we're going to do time travel. I thought it was a great way to tie it in and a great way to have Felicity be like, wait a minute. I know I know I'm a time traveler, because how would I know Zoe? And when someone else talks to Zoe, it's proof that Zoe is real, not just a figment of her imagination. Like, all of that really worked for me. I will say, DBK, one of the things that cracked me up the most in this episode is Ben breaking Felicity out of the mental hospital.
Yeah. It's funny because like I did like a lot of like research, so I was like reading like a lot of like thought pieces or whatever, people like that were covering it, and they're like, oh, you can clearly see this is like from like JJ working on Alias, so I guess it gives like off Alias vibes.
Yes.
I guess of like the breakout, because I just like I chuckled because they're like in the hallway with the doctors, like right there, like it's not like a very like you could have just walked out, it seems like
yeah. But he treats it like it's like, oh, we're pulling off a heist.
Yeah.
And he brings her home, and this is when Felicity tells him about all the cheating stuff with Claire, and like, oh, this is what's gonna happen. This is why I came back. Yeah, and he's like, no, with Claire. Who the hell's Claire? Exactly. And so she tells him all about that. And oh my God, this is the other thing that cracked me up, because Sarah, we talked about this and about how annoyed we were that the impetus for the time travel was Ben cheating rather than Elena dying. Like, it's really frustrating. And so then when
kind of both, right? He cheated.
She was like, the reason I want to go back in time is to be with Noel. Like, she literally says this episode, like, Noel, I came back here to be with you.
She didn't choose to go back in time. She drunkenly had a conversation with Megan, and Megan like put a spell on her. Technically is what happened. And now she like is thinking it was like she's like rationalizing what happened, kind of, right?
Right. The catalyst was Ben cheating. Yeah.
Which was she was upset of Ben cheated because she pulled away because Elena died, because Felicity was upset, is what I'm saying.
One thing led to the other. Yeah.
Right. So I'm saying like, it was not about Elena, but it kind of was about Elena in a way.
So she tells him, and he's like, oh, I promise I'm never going to do that. I want to be with you. And of course now they're kissing, and I'm like, oh my good God. Like, we really just, because Sarah, you and I were both like, oh, there's 2 finales. okay, well, we must have in one finale she ends up in with one person, and in the other finale she either is alone or she is with the other person. Like, we thought, okay, they're rewriting history, and that is why people are so upset by like one or the other. Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined in both episodes, in both finales, we're getting her back together with Ben.
Yeah, I mean, I was very shocked by that too. I feel like if we were going to do this whole like let's rewrite history thing, like I would have so thought that the outcome would be different in both scenarios, and I'm very very shocked. And it's kind of interesting because like I think that Felicity fell in love with old Ben again in the timeline where she goes back, because like that Ben is like genuine and looks at her in the eyes and be like, I don't know what to say, like I can't believe that I did that, but like try. And like that's like very like classic Ben. However, that's not the Ben that she was with like a year and a half later. That Ben made a totally different choice. So it's a little hard to digest that like she did give that Ben a second or third chance. But yeah, I mean it's really shocking, honestly. But I guess congratulations, Jessica. You are the official winner. I am a fucking loser.
I wish I could even celebrate it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like listen, I was very DBK, what do you think of our take on Cocky Ben? I was very pro Cocky Ben.
I wanted to come in and be like, so just to be clear, the three women on the podcast were totally fine with Ben gaslighting Felicity for like a whole episode. We
for the lulz. Yeah, it was hilarious.
We liked it. Yeah, no, I love Cocky Ben because like his asking her what the lady's name was, that
the bathtub
like,
lady.
It's so funny to me because like she knows it, and it's like such a dickhead thing for him to like say to her at the same time, because if you remember that scene, it's funny to me as like a Ben hater, is like he was like, oh, I'm gonna tell this downstore neighbor, give him the business, and then it's a hot chick and Ben shuts the fuck up and doesn't say a word to her.
Yeah. No, the reason I like Cocky Ben is because he's so like over the top and different than regular Ben, who is more soft spoken and just an idiot, truly. But I can't. The thing is, I am team Ben, but I did cross out that. Who knew this freaking poster would be so freaking relevant? The time machine poster. Never in my wildest dreams when I made this. So yeah.
So this opens up like my question, since we're kind of here.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you've seen the whole show, you've seen both endings, you know like the lore of Felicity now. You've seen like the deleted scene. You have like the whole picture, I guess, kind of. Like, would you describe it as a love triangle show? Because like I wouldn't be like there's a love triangle. I like, you know what I mean? It gives it away, but like it's a story about like two people that like love it. Like it's a story about Felicity's like true love for Ben and like their journey of how that like happens, kind of. Like Noel's there, but like my argument is, like, I famously hate Ben. I like don't ever want Felicity to end up with Ben. I don't think it's a good match. I can list the many reasons, but my main argument is like Ben doesn't make Felicity better. No, Noel makes Felicity better to me. Like, so that like as like just a general like premise of an argument. That's like why I think like it always should have been Noel.
Yeah.
But I like Noel's ending. Like I like how the show ends. I'm fine with it.
He's like, better off.
You know what I mean? Like, but like I like it. Like I like that like in the other timeline, it's like, you know, like Ben is the choice. Like, so like knowing what you know now, do you like that as a choice, or you like still hate it?
I agree with you that I think, especially if we're comparing it to like Dawson's Creek, which obviously is always our kind of go-to as another show we've covered, another teen drama in the same era. That show is fully a love triangle show, right? Like it is, you're Team Dawson, you're Team Pacey. She dates both of them for significant amounts of time over the course of the show. This show, like truly, she waffles about Noel sometimes, but they barely date. They truly barely date. So I think it's more of a college coming of age show than anything else. Like I wouldn't fully classify it as a love triangle show, especially because she really is barely ever with Noel. And as to the question of who I think she should be with, like I agree with you. I don't think her and Ben are a great match. I don't think they make each other better. In fact, I think they bring out probably the worst in each other. Legally, I'm Team Ben. I would ultimately argue that she should be with neither of them, and I wish that was the way things went. I wish she could have just gotten her bearings and like been like, wow, all of this time travel has taught me I don't need either of them. I'm comfortable on my own, right? Like I wish that was the moral of this story. Because I really think Nolan, Ben, and Felicity, all three of them are just better off not being with one another. I think there's way too much baggage there. I think, Sarah, to me, this feels very much like obviously they're in college, not high school, but it feels more like you have your first loves, and then you just kind of, you grow and you learn, and then you move on from those people.
Yeah, I think that like it would have been nice if that was the moral of the story, but that's not what we got. So going to like, is this a story about a love triangle? I would say like probably not, looking back on everything. It didn't really take off that much with Noel. I mean, they like circled around it a lot, but at the end of the day, like it really was the Ben and Felicity story. And that's what I had said at the end of episode 17. Mm-hmm. And I feel as though that is what they doubled down on at the end of episode 22. So, is it the story that like I would have written? Like probably not. But also I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like I would feel a little bit better about it if she didn't go back in time to quote unquote solely be with Noel, because like that is like kind of like the thorn in my side about it. It like is about the love triangle. It is about her being wishy-washy or going back and forth. I don't know. Like I don't really think that they fully knew 1,000% what they wanted. And DBK, remind me, did the same writers write the back 5 as the front 17?
No, I have no idea. The weird, what I know is they famously, because like the runs of Felicity changed every season, I guess, right? It's like 20, 22, 17, and then 22 again, I think. So they asked specifically because they knew this was going to be the last season. Supposedly they asked like twice or whatever. They're like, how many episodes are we going to get? And the network told them, you're getting 17. So they were like, cool, we're going to write, 17 episodes and we're going to wrap this thing up. And then they like double checked, I guess, for whatever reason. And the network was like, no, you're getting like 17 episodes. And then whatever show failed or whatever. And they were like, give us 5 more. And I guess like at the time, because I listened to that other podcast, they wrote shows more like while the show was going, because they talk very much about like, oh, like, we were writing this episode and this was like happening on the show. It wasn't so much that they wrote ahead like they do nowadays, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting. It just it really feels disjointed. Like we were not a fan of the beginning of season 4 up until the original finale.
Yeah, season 4 is horrible.
It just feels like they don't understand the characters that they're writing at all. And then it was like certain things that in the time travel like episodes were great in terms of we got to see Megan back to her old self, right? Like back in her goth era again.
It was really great to see like Megan come back, and I really liked Megan in the penultimate episode as well, like fucking with Sean.
Oh, because the best.
He's such a dipshit. Like, I just like
He's
cannot
an
believe.
asshat. He sucks.
Yeah, I cannot believe that whole Julie thing. It was crazy, and I loved how she kind of got her own. And then and I like the fact that he was like, "Be with me," and she was like, "Fuck you." Like,
Yeah.
that's incredible. Like, that's what I want from Felicity, but you know what I mean? But that's just like not Felicity.
Well,
But
Megan's
that's
a
Megan,
better
and Megan's
character.
great.
Yeah. I also really thought to not completely rag on both of these episodes, DBK, I really liked that the way we had Megan discovering Felicity is actually telling the truth about time traveling, and like she does believe her and all of that. The way in which it happens is very funny, where she lies to Sean about her new boyfriend named Paul, and she's Korsakoff. She's ordering all these items that are from Paul that are really just from herself. And when she goes to try to return one of the items, it turns out, well, we already have a Paul Korsakoff in our, in our system here. He lives in New York, and he also is the one writing the time travel book. Like, it all is a little too perfect. It's a little too cute that he lives in New York, but I'm willing to forgive that for the fact that like that's how they introduced Paul into the show. I thought it was very clever.
Yeah, I love the like Paul Korsakoff of it all. The little tree thing that he makes. If there was like, give me that thing. That is like the dopest.
Yeah.
I love that thing. I love the whole Paul Korsakoff of it all. I love like the making of the tree that like. And to be fair, you guys like Felicity Interrupted. You just hate that the finale is like a clip show because you can't. Do you like the Paul Korsakoff of it all?
I thought that like it's the book has not been written and he's working on it, but it hasn't been written. So she finds him and is able to be like, look, like in the future, you wrote the book. It worked. I'm back here. Help me, like, please. Because like, how else would she be able to get back? So I really did like the fact that like, she basically was like, I need you to help me. I think it makes a lot more sense because I also like if any spell worked where like Felicity, when we see her in the beginning of Felicity Interrupted doing spells, like if you listen to the Buffy podcast, I'm very strict about witches being natural witches, and like I do think that Megan has special witch powers, and I think that Korsakoff has special witch powers, but Felicity is not a witch. So if she was able to make witch things happen, I would have been kind of like a stickler about that.
I do wish though that Megan was more involved. Like I really thought when Megan makes the discovery about Paul Korsakoff and like is able to locate him and tells Felicity, I was like, oh my gosh, is Megan gonna help him write the book? Like I got really excited because I thought that's where we were going, and then when it didn't happen, I was a little
we don't have enough money to hire Megan for that scene. We have
we don't have time. We have clips to show.
You know, we hired this like actor, this extra. He's supposed to be the guest star. We don't have time. We don't have the money.
Yeah, this guy's like in everything, by the way, as well.
Yeah, I've seen him in a lot of things.
But did you like or didn't like then when he like, because like, is he a witch? Because I feel like he's not he like kind of says he's not a witch. So like that's why I think it's like very interesting. Because like when she's like, oh well, Megan always uses my hair. He's like, oh, you're like crazy wicked roommate. No thanks.
I mean, whatever he does works, right?
No, I agree, but
something.
Yeah, no, it's just they play it off that it's like kind of like sciencey because he's like getting chased down by this like Fleming guy, and he's like like.
I feel like the newspapers piled outside of his door would beg to disagree about him being like a scientist or something. Like he feels like a shut-in. Like
as someone who's watched this too many times, I think they play it off that he's like not into witchcraft kind of. So I just think it's interesting.
And how are you going to be making spell books then if that actually
maybe this is why. Maybe this is what
he thinks that this is a science book.
Well, I don't like J.J. Abrams is like fringe and like I just think
he does do a lot of.
I just think it's interesting. Like if you really like delve into this episode as I'm trying to like save it, like you know what I mean? Like,
well, maybe it's more so. Like he doesn't think witchcraft is right because he doesn't have like he's not using the right components, but then like. he got Megan, like inadvertently got Megan's advice to use the hair, which he hadn't thought about before. So now he's going to write that in the book, which in the future, she uses his books to do spells and she uses hair. Like, you know, it's kind of like the Ouroboros, like snake eating its own tail. Like it's a cycle. Like he writes the spells that Megan learns how to do. Then she learns the spells from him. It's like, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, but also I would give the show that much credit if their time travel actually made sense. But the fact that they fucked up the Elena bit so badly, they lose all credibility with me because it makes no fucking sense. Like it literally makes no fucking sense.
It opens up way too many questions.
Did it make sense in Lost? I never watched Lost. Did the solution ever make sense?
Not everything. Not
then how is this man making TV?
Because people to
be fair, he wrote the pilot of Lost and then he was like off. He didn't do the full show of Lost.
Yeah,
that wasn't him.
It seems like Matt and JJ were back for like this part of Felicity from like the extras that I've watched, but I don't know about writers, and I don't know if they're gone in season 4. Are they? Because the characters do seem better. It
says the showrunner is Matt Reeves for season 4, so it seems like, and created by J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves. I think he was.
Right. So who knows why season 4 is so bad, especially if they knew it was ending. Is the crazy thing. Because my thing is always, I say the show gets like brighter as like my weird thing. So like this is like the brightest season of Felicity, like color wise, and it's like the worst. Like as the show's color palette changes, I feel like the show gets worse.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Let's talk through a couple of the other storylines that were in the penultimate episode. Because we're not done with Julie yet. Her and Ben are like talking road trip, right? They're gonna go to Dollywood. They're gonna go on a road trip. Okay, sure. She goes to buy a car for said road trip. Ben gets very wrapped up in the Felicity stuff and is basically like, sorry, Julie, you're on your own for this road trip, which like, okay. Like we just teased the Ben and Julie thing to make Sean look bad. If so, I'm here for it, I guess. Because what Megan did to Sean was extremely funny and well-deserved, in my opinion, for his bullshit that he did to her. I will forever defend Megan. For as much as I disliked a lot of the shit this show has done, namely the fact that they truly made Megan's only character trait towards the end being together with Sean, I was here for her embarrassing the fuck out of Sean for his shitty ass behavior, DBK.
So this is what I need to we need to find out for your like recap, because I feel like I never hated like Sean and Megan as like couple fighting. That never like really bothered me on any of like my watches. You guys are like the first ones that like pointed it out, where I'm like, oh yeah, they do fight a lot, and like I guess it never bothered me. I think it's funny, you know what I mean? They have a good chemistry together when they're in scenes, I feel like. So like that never bothered me. Sean sucks in like this timeline. My only question is it a fair point that like he didn't mean to hurt her? Like when they have that argument and he's like, because it's fun. I agree it's hilarious what Megan does to him this episode, but when they have the fight in the hallway, Sean makes the point of like, what you're doing to me now is like being mean to be mean, malicious.
Yeah.
What I did to you, yes, was mean. But
he was emotionally cheating. No, like I feel even though he wasn't intentionally being malicious about hurting Megan, he still was talking to Julie behind her back and having these feelings for Julie while still with Megan, and then breaks things off with Megan, only to then try to get back with Megan when Julie denies him. Like that, to me, is probably the worst offense, is the fact that he's like, hey, Julie didn't want me. You want to get back together? Like, and he lied about being in like a shit ton of debt, which also is uncool, right? Like it's not great.
There's all this stuff. Cause like we technically are supposed to know Sean is like going through it like mentally as well, right? Cause they go to like the shrink. Technically, they don't do this in this timeline, so there's that like going on,
right? Because they're not married in this timeline.
Yeah. Right. So like, I just say like, Sean sucks in this timeline. Like, but so like my question is, do you think he was always talking to Julie in like both timelines? And then so my headcanon because like we don't know, right? Because it was never even introduced in the other timeline. So my canon is once he gets married to Megan in the other timeline, I assume because like I guess you can talk to your friend through email, right? Because technically Sean and Megan Sean and Julie are friends. So in my head canon, once he gets married to Megan in the other timeline, they like don't talk or much, or he doesn't care about it. But then in this timeline, he never gets married to Megan, so he thinks it's like a bigger deal than it is. And also, sorry, Julie doesn't know where Dolly Wood is if she thinks it's in Nashville. Julie's dumb. It's in Pigeon Forks, Tennessee. Just so you know, Julie, not Nashville.
Yeah, Julie.
Tennessee's all the same, dummy.
Oh my God.
I agree with you, DBK. Like I do think that he was probably emotionally cheating, or at least like talking to Julie through email up until I can see him doing it up until marriage. And I do think that he respected his marriage. I think that he wouldn't have continued after that. Like I would have to believe it. We never heard him mention Julie prior to that.
Yeah, I think I probably agree with that. It's unfortunate because I remember being so excited when Megan and Sean got together. Like we were like, this is going to be our new favorite couple.
Yeah.
And then all the show fed us was just argument after argument after argument. And it got really old really quickly. And then it feels like it really falls apart here in the final season to the point where I am like, Megan, run as fast as you can away from this man. Like, please save yourself. It's just really unfortunate to have that be where I end up, where I am like, yes, Megan, do a presentation and embarrass him. Like, I don't want to feel that way, but they really did Sean dirty in like the final couple of seasons with literally every storyline they give his character. It's just really unfortunate. I didn't want to end up here. I wanted to be like happy for them as a couple and like want them to be together. I wanted them to be the couple that like, you know how it is, DBK. It's like sometimes you watch a show and the main couples are like irritating because they're always on again, off again. It's like, okay, like Friends, I would say is a good example, right? Where like Rachel and Ross, like you're annoyed, right? They're constantly back and forth. Whereas Chandler and Monica, you're like, fuck yeah, they're a stable couple. I love them. That's what I wanted Megan and Sean to be. But unfortunately, didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm just curious if like in the Felicity streets, that's like the sentiment.
I'm curious too. I'm really curious because I don't know that I could watch this show feeling any other way. Like maybe back in the day, but watching it every single week and having them argue, I don't know. I think Sarah had agreed with me when we talked about it. Like it's uncomfortable. Like you just feel bad. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be around a couple that's just arguing constantly.
Well, because like I think like the majority of us have had a friend, and like a friend couple that does that, and when you're like literally like next to it, it's uncomfortable, or when you watch like a couple not treat each other with love and respect, it feels so uncomfortable. So like I think that like watching it on TV made me flash back to like seeing my friends or whomever go through a similar situation. And when you're in that situation and you're watching people that you care about, you're like, why are you doing this to each other and to yourselves? Like, if you're not happy, then like, how is like, I mean, there's couples that do love to bicker, but like not when it gets like pointed and mean. So I don't know. Like, I just feel like for me watching it, for especially like Megan, who I've grown to really like as a character, and Sean, who I liked prior to this season, I think, like it's almost like they're my friends. So I'm just like, just stop it, cut it out, just be nice to each other, like stop arguing. And it's a lot of the time it was like the same fight over and over again, right? Like it was like Sean's like, you're not supporting me. Megan is admittedly not being supportive. But then like it's that argument, and it's also the fact that like Sean is a homebody and Megan likes to go out, which is actually also a pretty common fight amongst couples. But then we saw the episode where like he went to go to the sex party and he was in the stirrups, and that was like really fun too. Like they were able to solve that. But then I think like we probably regressed and had like the same argument after the fact. I'm not positive. I can't super keep track, but like there wasn't like a lot of you know, a lot of growth between the two couples, or between that couple at times, I feel.
It's also hard too, because like Megan's like big trade is that like she's mean, right? Is that like she's like has that hard edge to her. So it's hard to like, I feel like the show for you guys never found the balance of that in their relationship.
I really loved Megan and Felicity's relationship more than any other relationship Megan has on the show. And I feel like that
Felicity, honestly.
Well, wait, what did I just say? I said Megan and Felicity. What did I say?
No, you did say Megan and Felicity,
okay.
But I was saying like, yeah, I agree. It's like my favorite relationship that Megan's had, but also in a way like that Felicity has had.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I love it. It feels authentic, almost like like in Dawson's Creek, like how like Joey and Busy Phillips, right? Like it feels very like, oh, your college roommate becomes a really good friend, even though you don't have a ton in common and maybe you're really different, but they're like the friend you didn't know you needed. That felt really true to me. The friendships work so much better on this show than the romantic relationships do work for me. Beyond the complete lack of Elena in this season in general.
It seems like this cast like really liked each other. I know like Felicity and Amanda Foreman are supposedly like really good friends in like real life because of this show kind of thing. So
and
it seems like this.
Amanda is Megan.
Yeah, Megan.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of Elena and just the lack of the show being able to know what the hell they wanted to do with her, even her stuff in this penultimate episode is like Javier's getting it's such a pointless, why we wasted time on this. Javier's getting his nails done in the back, gets robbed. He's supposed to be helping Elena study for Spanish. And then he has to do a lie detector test for God knows why, gets fired, helps Elena. Like, this is all pointless garbage.
The comedy, Jess, the comedy.
Was it funny?
Did you laugh at
Javier's funny, right? Like I
love Javier, but this is such a garbage freaking
right. The lie detector, he's like, it's all going crazy.
Arrest me now.
Yeah, and then it's like, did you steal the money? He's like, no, and then it's like, oh, it didn't move. Like, Javier being Javier.
Yeah, I just am really upset that because Elena's death in the first episode like really affected me. I was really upset, and I thought that by doing the time travel, that meant we would be able to spend more time with her. Like, I just assumed we're doing a time travel. That means Elena's going to be back in the story and we're going to get more of Elena and we're going to get Felicity and Elena's friendship, right? Because that was huge in the beginning of the show. That was a big.
The show doesn't care. The show doesn't care. Felicity cares.
Was
it? I think that you're rewriting history. I don't think it was a major part of the show. I think that we've seen Elena and Noel hang out like a lot more than Felicity and
before
Elena.
Megan and Felicity were close. Elena and Felicity were like also Julie, but then Julie left. Yeah. So like it was kind of a mix, right? Like I think Elena was really important to the story, and even if you're correct in saying like, okay, her and Felicity weren't always super close, Elena was always integral to the story. She was roommates with Noel. Like she was always there.
She was there, but she was a side character. They never properly, and I've said this a billion times, they never properly utilized Elena. They only used Elena against other guys, like, and like the most like infamous moments with Elena for me is her studying the M&Ms, which was like a side story. The
assassin,
thank you. I was thinking like water gun. I was like, it wasn't water guns. That, which was like a story, but it was like also kind of like a side thing. And then like her relationship with like the guy that cheated on her with her Tracy. Like best friend, the story of her and Tracy, and the story with her and Keenan. And that's like pretty much like the highlights for Elena. I don't think that they ever properly utilized her. Like there was a couple of like really fun times where like she went out with the girls, but then there was also a handful of times where she didn't go out with the girls. So I think that they never properly used Tangi Miller. I don't think that they properly utilized Elena. I think that she was used as a sounding board for other characters. And I think she was used for a sounding board for Felicity at times and for Noel when they lived together. So, and that's been my complaint the entire series. I've said over and over again, like, yeah, like I like Elena, like, but I don't feel like she has enough for me to give her, like, bump her up in the rankings, or like, I mean, like the most interesting thing that I think that they tapped into, that which they didn't even really tap into, was the loss of her mother and her relationship with her father. We had like one episode about that, and that's it. So I truly, I just don't think that they knew what to do with this character. And I think that they didn't know what to do with any of the characters besides Felicity and the two guys. Like, I really don't. Like, I think that they had like a clear idea what they wanted to do with Felicity, and I think that they had a clear idea what they wanted Noel and Ben to be involved, but like they didn't utilize their side characters very well. I think that that's why, oh no, Julie wanted to quit, but like we were saying that about Julie too. They don't really know what to do, what they want to do about Julie, but it's fine. Like it's whatever. Like I think it's very clear that season 2 is probably the best season by like leaps and bounds. I know last season I was like, oh, I think I like season 3 better, but I think like looking back, I probably disagree with that, and I was just being like a drama. Like I was yeah, I was really like into the drama. I think season 2 is probably like DBK. Like, would you say? I know you like season 1 too, but season 2,
nope,
is great.
Yeah. I'm a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I think that's probably 2 and 1. I think are more interchangeable for me, but definitely 3 and 4 are at the bottom, with 4 being at the very bottom. And we'll probably talk about this more, Sarah, next week when we do our full series like wrap up. But I do think Elena started out as being more of an important character that had agency, that had storylines, that had dimensions, and then quickly just kind of tanked when they were giving her nothing or giving her little side stories that really didn't enhance the character very much. And this was like, this episode I felt like was really an example of that.
Yeah. Like, but I would have felt differently a little bit if they included Elena's 2 cut scenes. Like, I feel like they had the juice. Like, they had something that like would have really shut me the fuck up, and they didn't use it. So it's just like, they shot it, they filmed it, they had an idea, but they, for whatever reason, they thought that Smooth A's was more important, and I don't know why that was
really infuriating.
Yeah,
I like, again, a clip show is one thing, but a clip show in exchange of important character beats that aren't just important in terms of like having Elena be on the show and having like a heartbeat to it, and having like the relationship between Felicity and Elena mean something, but also just having it make fucking sense. Like, because now we're just left with Elena shows up at the fucking wedding and you're like, that girl was dead. What is happening? Like, truly, what is going on? Like, I think I would have been much higher on the Sean speech at the end and like the whole wedding and all of the group. Like, Tracy's even there, right? Like, I would have been much higher on like being excited about the full group being together and kind of saying goodbye if they didn't cut the Elena stuff and have me just racking my brain. Did I miss something? How the fuck did Elena get here?
Well, then, because then Felicity, the story is Felicity's the hero. She saved her best friend. She made sure that Noel was like with the best person that he was supposed to be with. Like, Noel is supposed to be with Zoe. Like, I like the scene that like Felicity did have with Zoe, where she was just like, you're going to be with this guy, Noel. He's great. You guys are great. Like, I like how she came to that understanding that like Noel's not for me, but he's like an amazing guy. And Zoe and Noel were happy together. Yeah. Noel was like, do you ever think about me? That was like a weird thing. He probably shouldn't have said that. But like the story changes to Felicity like righting a lot of wrongs. Like, Elena's alive, but she's also with Tracy, and they were a great couple when they were great. Like, Noel's with Zoe. I forget, was Samuel by any chance in that finale scene, in that last scene? That would have been really good too, because like that whole thing was really bullshit too, especially having like 3 seasons of us being like, oh yay, like, Javier is like a really fun partner, they're gonna have a kid, blah blah blah. Like, I think that including like showing some effort as to how Felicity fixed some of this shit would exactly make Felicity the hero, make us be like, good for you, Felicity. Like, yeah, you want to be with Ben, like, good for you. Like, but once again, like, maybe he wouldn't have cheated on her if Elena didn't die and they were both more present with each other. It's a possibility. Who really knows, right? So I think it just like all they had to do was take out a couple of the scenes, the clips, and input how Felicity was going to fix her mess by saving Noel's life, making sure he's still with Zoe, saving Elena's life, making sure she gets back together with Tracy, doesn't get killed in Colombia. And then we have a totally different discussion for the last hour. Like, it was so close. I don't think I would have one bad thing to say about these last 5 episodes, Jessica. She gave me like the stankiest ass look that I've ever did see.
We
about
love the last 5.
The last 5 episodes, I don't think I would have a bad thing to say if they took out some of these like shitty ass clips and put in how Felicity is going to fix her mess. And then I don't think I would have anything bad to say. I don't think so. Right, DPK? Or am I just like being hyperbolic?
Maybe you're being a bit hyperbolic,
little,
but I mean, you like, hey, this is what I asked for. I'm getting your honest opinion, so that's fair. Because like I would say they use a lot. I would say they use a lot of good clips in the finale. We see like Felicity get the necklace, which I would say is like the biggest grand gesture to me of the show that Ben gives her after they get robbed.
I think the time machine is more of a grand gesture for me,
right?
Personally,
but for me personally, the necklace, because she wears that in a lot of like scenes at the very that one just always stands out to me. We get like
ugly.
It's just it's a normal necklace. That's why
like a triangle or something.
Yeah, it's just a triangle. It's a silver triangle on us.
You were unimpressed, if I recall.
Yeah, you wouldn't like it, but
okay,
I like that.
It was very simple.
We get their both first kisses. We get Nolan, Felicity and Ben's first kiss. And then we get like the good, like Javier's puts their glasses on Felicity, which I feel is like memorable. Like when he tells her you can't see the new Ben. So
we get every era of hair. The one thing I will say the clips did allow me to realize was the foreshadowing of Noel dying in a fire, because of just how many fires happened on this freaking show.
No one dies in a fire.
The number of fires is like unhinged and hilarious. But I will disagree with you, Sarah, in that even if they included the Elena clips that they cut from the finale, Felicity doesn't come off looking like a hero at all, because she specifically wanted to go back in time, not to save Elena, but to be with Noel. And it is so supremely selfish to do that. And like spending all this time, and then when in the past, she is like, but I have to go back just to save Noel. Not a word about Elena. Like, truly, I can't. She is so selfish as a character in general, and I can't get on board with it. It is infuriating to no end. The fact that she defines her entire being based on the man that she is with is just like the antithesis of feminism in a way that I find insulting. Like, girly, you don't have to be with either one of them. She basically says, my entire life went poorly when I decided that after I cheated on my boyfriend, not to just be with the guy I cheated with. Like, what? Actually, what? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like, get a backbone. Seriously, get a hobby. Like, do anything besides obsess over these two men. And that's what she's done for all 4 seasons of the show, is obsess about these two men. It is so frustrating. I personally don't find her to be anything but extremely selfish. I don't think she's always been that way. I think Sarah, you and I were saying, and again, it's been a minute, but like, I'm pretty sure by season 2, we were like, we are very impressed with Felicity. We're very impressed with her character progression. We feel like she's grown so much. And then I feel like the show was like, well, we're just going to bring her all the way back to like square one. And I think that's really upsetting considering it's a coming of age show. She's going through 4 years of college. Like she should have learned literally anything by now.
Mm-hmm.
And the other funny thing I think would have been really hysterical, DBK, is if she was like, hey, Ben, while I'm back in the past, don't fuck Lauren, okay? Just don't do it. You don't want to have a baby right now. Don't do it. Missed opportunities.
Well, yeah, that's the time travel of it all. Like, did she go back and like Lauren doesn't have a baby now? Who like, yeah,
who knows? Because Elena's alive, so nothing makes sense.
Right, way too many questions. But yeah, like I would push back and say Felicity's not. I would just say like season 4 really, I feel like really ruined Felicity for you guys, because I feel like you guys were still on board with Felicity for the main part in season 3. I definitely know like Sara hated Felicity in season 1 and then was kind of on board by season 2, and I feel like you guys were probably still on board by season 3, but I feel like season 4 for you guys like ruined the show basically for you guys, because like I feel like you guys were in like a decent place with the show up till season 3, and then season 4 was just like,
it was
this
too far.
show sucks. All these characters suck, and Felicity is the worst.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. I think that like,
which is a shame.
It is a shame because we really liked seasons 1 and 2. I think especially by season 2, we were like really in on it, and then it was just like the show didn't know what it was doing anymore, and it didn't care about the character growth and the stuff they had set up in the beginning. It was like, screw that character, the character arcs. We're just going to do whatever the fuck we want and fuck around. Which is, again, it's just unfortunate. But yeah, like the other thing of it that I was really disappointed, I didn't want to be right about the Felicity wakes up and wonders if it's a dream thing. Like, I think she did time travel because otherwise it doesn't make sense. But I was just very annoyed that they even were feeding us that line of garbage of like, oh, I had such a weird dream. Like, oh, stop. Why are you doing
like,
that?
That was supposed to be like Wizard of Oz. That's like, right.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, that's a good question. Do you think that Wizard of Oz was just a dream, or do you think that actually happened to her?
It was a dream, wasn't it?
I don't think so. I think it really happened. I don't know.
Oh, shit.
So, I have like a question. It kind of is like a Buffy beef.
A Buffy beef.
Beef.
Well, like a question for you. So let's just hypothetically, if Noel was Noelle and was exactly the same character,
but a
woman.
Okay.
So like
Noel is a woman,
but dates Felicity. Everything else is the same. Stalks Tyra, like all of it. Is your beef with like Noel and Felicity the same? Because I feel like it's not. Because and my reason that I have this question is on Buffy, you guys love Tara and Willow, and they're fine. Tara's a little boring right now, but whatever. But Tara says to Willow in one scene that I thought you guys would have beef with, that you guys absolutely loved, where Willow's basically like, yo, I want to like keep you to myself. And Tara says to her like, I'm yours. And you guys like love that. And I don't think there's in any world where a woman says that to like Xander and you're on board with that.
Our beef is with Willow. You're saying?
Well, no, you guys like loved it. You guys were like, this is amazing. Tara said she's Willow's property. We love it. It's amazing. She's saying how much she loves her, and I was like, if a woman said this to Xander, you would be like, Xander, you piece of shit. You're disgusting. Like, this woman is not your property.
Well, Xander, I mean, I think it's different if Xander says it than if
No, I'm saying if a woman said it to Xander.
I
think you would
that
still have beef. Like
I think the
would
reason
not
I
like
liked
it.
that scene, well, I definitely did not like the whole Willow keeping Tara a secret, right? Like keeping her not for meeting her friends, not allowing her to meet Buffy, not allowing her to integrate into the
Right,
Scoobies.
but
Like I did not like
I'm
any
just
of that.
saying the whole like the yours of
I'm
it all.
yours. I mean, I don't like the thought of someone's being someone's property. No. But I felt like she was saying it as like, I'm already yours. Like you don't have to worry about
like,
that. I
look, it
am
was
already
like
yours.
like I
I
said,
think the
it was like
sentiment is
it's like a
fine.
loving manner. I just feel like if it was like I just you know what I mean. So I think
the context is key
that
here,
may
and
be
I don't
like a Jessica thing because I'm usually more like romantic or like type of like that type of thing. I feel like if a man said it, I still think I would think it was like sweet.
Yeah, because I could see
know.
Riley saying that and you being totally fine with it too.
Yeah,
like I have like a sort of beef like with the whole like Noel and Felicity, like when the sentiment was like they should separate and stuff and not be in each other's lives. I kind of like didn't like that because like I view Noel as Felicity's like best friend.
Oh, you mean when we were saying that, like, because she's
just in general, when Noel and Felicity were being like shitty to each other, not being like great in each other's lives, and it was like maybe problematic or whatever.
I think
there was the sentiment of like they should separate, and I'm like, but like Noel's like her best friend. Where if it was like, you know what I mean? I feel like if they were the same gender and they were best friends.
I think I would have the same sentiment if they were exes, is the thing. Like, I think it doesn't matter the gender. I think if you have dated somebody and then you are like trying to maintain a friendship afterwards, but there's still unresolved shit, then you need to separate. Like, I don't think gender would matter to me. I think it's the fact that they have dated, not the fact that they're that one's a man, one's a woman.
If that internet fact I see going around is true, maybe it has nothing to do with gender. Have you seen the divorce thingy about divorces?
What about divorces?
That was crazy. I don't know. It's like I don't know if this is true. It's just like internet TikTok stuff. I thought it was crazy. It was like 45% between straight couples, 39% between gay men, and then like 70% between
likely to get divorced. Is that what
no, that's like is? the divorce rates between couples.
Well, I believe that actually.
And I was like, that's wild. And then like the joke is like maybe it's not men.
Well, no, I think that it goes to, I mean, we've had a couple of like the stereotype is that women move forward faster. So obviously if
the U-Haul thing, right?
Forward faster, then it could, you know.
I'm a dummy. I don't know. I was just like, that's a why. I was like, is that true? That can't be true.
I feel like it could. I feel like it is.
I have no idea. I can't speak to any of that.
I was just like, that's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, I don't know. Ultimately, where the show ends is whatever. I think I was mostly so mad that it all felt pointless because we ended up where we started. Like, if the time travel had meant literally anything, the only thing that we got back was Elena being alive, but they didn't want to invest literally any time in explaining that. So why should that matter to me, you know? So ultimately, I was like very, very bitter after watching the finale. In fact, I'm pretty sure I posted like at least 5 GIFs of like throwing my TV off the wall, kicking it, burning it, chucking it in the garbage. I was like so mad that because I watched it late at night and then I was laying in bed just like stewing for like 15 minutes. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. Like, I don't know where to go from here. I like is really, really, really mad. But I think we should get into some feedback because I'm really curious to know the general sentiment on the finale and like if everyone else in the world was as annoyed as I was and like had as many issues as I did. We got 2 pieces of feedback from Temmie. First, he wrote in and said, in the middle of the episode, Noel and Felicity offered Julie pizza, but she'd already had Chinese. What are your thoughts about buffets? When I was a kid, we would often go to Old Country Buffet, Ponderosa, or a Chinese buffet. Sarah, I feel like 2020 just ruined buffets for me.
I don't know. I have like such good memories. We used to have a buffet in Jersey that was Chinese buffet and was like Grand Buffet. So good. The last buffet that I went to was the Win buffet in Vegas, and that buffet is incredible.
Yeah.
So good. It was so good that like you couldn't even get everything that you wanted to get because like there's so many.
You had to go up like
things.
twice.
Yeah, you definitely
like you
could
it.
Yeah. And the desserts were so good. I think I'm still in buffets.
Okay.
I haven't been to one in a bit, but I'm definitely into it. There's a like Indian buffet that's like kind of near us. I really want to try because with Indian food, like I always get the same thing usually.
It's a good way to sample new stuff.
Exactly. I'm not a butter chicken basic bitch. I just want to say that, or tikka masala. But
I'm a tiki masala bitch. I'll fuck with
basic.
tiki masala all day long.
I typically get like a potato and like cauliflower dish. So but I would love to kind of sample different things. So I think I'm like very into buffets.
Okay. What about you, DBK?
Okay, this is the thing. I love a sampler. Like that's if I
do love a sampler.
I would love to try like a little bit of everything. Like I don't want like we do like donut samplers. Like I want to try like 8 different donuts, but only a bite. Only a bite. I don't want a full donut. I just want to take a bite of every single donut. And I want to do that with like my food too. I love a flight. I love a sampler. Yeah. So DBK, do you like buffets?
Yeah, I like buffets. They're good. We have one at the casino that's supposedly really good. And then when I was a kid, we'd always go across the border to Detroit to like a Sweden house. And that was like a buffet that was like really good. I was like a kid. They had like the pull ice cream with all like the toppings, which I thought was like, as a little kid, you're like, this is
heaven.
This is amazing, guys. So Grandma
had the soft serve ice cream too. I miss buffet. I think it's still in Jersey. I just don't live in Jersey. So
yeah,
if you're ever in Paramus, go to Grand Buffet.
Hot
really
tips.
Good. Really good. Love Grand Buffet.
All right, I'm gonna play a voicemail from Temmie as well and see what he has to say.
Hi, people. Kelly, how are you feeling?
What's happening?
You have to tell me if you're actively crazy. If you aren't, I am. See, what if the person doing the assessment is the one who is crazy? So how do you all manage expectations, successes, and disappointments? How concerned are you about things going well? Thanks for these Felicity seasons. Thanks for DBK for leading the charge and leading them this way. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Temmie. Sara, how do you handle disappointments and
cry? Cry. I go into my bed and cocoon. I like to put the blanket over my head, hide. I have been trying to go for my little walkies.
Your loopies?
My little loops. That if I'm trying to be productive. I mean, like this is like, a lot of what I have to work through in therapy is handling. I really don't like change. I really don't like bad news. It makes me very anxious. So I don't know. I'm trying to be better at it. I'm trying to not just like go into a funk for like 4 days. But now I'm sad, so I feel like I'm going to go into a funk for 4 days. I feel like it's hitting me. I'm feeling a little sad. I feel like I need to go cocoon now.
What about you, DBK? How do you handle disappointment?
How do I handle? I try and not think about it truthfully, probably, but I try and stay active too. I try and like stay on tasks. Recently is like a good thing for me. Is like, hey, this is a job that it needs to get done. So I've been trying to like check things off and stay on top of things.
Yeah, I wish I had a better answer to this. My anxiety spikes up when I'm like disappointed or have unrealistic expectations. And it's usually not very good. Like, if sometimes I can be productive and like distract myself with just getting some shit done. Other times I'm not so lucky. I think like watercoloring, like doing an art that really just like a physical thing that you have to pay attention to make your brain just slow down has been helpful for me. I don't know that would work for everyone, but that's what's worked for me in the past. So it's usually what I've been when I'm really feeling like I should do it, I can do it, then that's what I'm doing. But yeah, so thank you so much, Temmie, for all your feedback always over the years. It's lovely and we always appreciate it. And I love the backtrack to it. That was great. Love little soundscape. All right, we also got an email from Jamie. Okay. So here we go. Jamie says, I know you ladies have been enjoying the time travel episodes, and while I can acknowledge that yes, they're entertaining, they are not a satisfying way to end the series. My big issue with them is even the time travel aspect is how interchangeable Ben and Noel have become for her that it makes it hard for root to either pairing. Mm-hmm. What I loved about the episode 17 finale was it wasn't about Felicity choosing between Ben and Noel. She ultimately chose herself by not following Ben to Arizona and not staying in New York to lean on Noel, which is what she usually did when things didn't work out with Ben. Now she's just ping-ponging back and forth between them, and they both just seem like a bad habit for her and not real love. I mean, if Felicity's initial reaction to Ben cheating is I should have chosen Noel, was she ever really in it with Ben? And if it takes Ben cheating for her to want to be with Noel, is she really in it with Noel? As a Team Ben person, I should be happy that they kept Ben as her endgame, but I am not. I actually think the show screwed over both Team Ben and Team Noel. God damn, Jamie, you need to be a lawyer, because that is I mean, I'm on board for that. What do you think, DBK? As someone who hates Ben, how do you handle what Jamie's saying here?
It's fine. Like again, my big argument is like Ben doesn't make Felicity better. I don't think Ben's a good boyfriend, really. Like I think she would be better with Noel, but like a lot of like why they never worked out is a lot of like Noel's fault, and like in this lens in 2025 it's viewed way differently, and like we look at it like way differently. Yes, she's spot on. Like the whole time travel is like difficult because like of the like what we actually know happened with it, like that wasn't planned, and then the fact that like the time travel is sort of the best part of this season because this season's so terrible. But I do think it's interesting that like she's a Team Benner and she's not happy that like, you know, he's endgame in all facets of the show.
Yeah. I think she makes a lot of salient points, Sarah, in saying like, if it's that easy to jump back and forth between the two of them, like, do you really love either one of them? If it's that easy for you to do that?
Yeah. Like thinking to that episode 17, it does kind of work because like ultimately she chose herself, but then and spent some time on her own, which is what we wanted. And then Ben ultimately makes the effort to choose her, which I do think that I like. I'm trying to remember how I felt a couple of episodes ago. I think I was like okay with that. So yeah, I mean, it's a choice. It's a choice.
Yeah. Continuing on, Jamie says, on another note, isn't it strange on a show called Felicity that they ended the show on a wedding that wasn't the titular character's wedding? I mean, you couldn't really do that considering what they had Ben do, but to end it with the wedding of such a nothing couple like Zoe and Noel just seemed wrong. I mean, did anyone actually like Noel and Zoe together? Since Noel was the odd man out of the triangle, who would have liked to see Noel end up with Hannah, Ruby, Natalie, Tyra Banks, or Zoe? For me, I would say Ruby. Oh, who would you have liked? So of Hannah, Ruby. I think Ruby. I think Ruby too, because I think I could see him stepping in as like, you know, stepdad, like, or DBK. What do you think of this? After some time has passed, either Ruby moves back to New York or Noel finds himself where the hell ever she was, Nebraska. Who the hell cares? Colorado. He finds himself wherever she is. They start out as friends, and then something rekindles between them.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, like, my thing is, like, you guys, I know you guys, like, at the end liked Ruby, but I feel like you guys were, like, the same with Ruby when we, like, started. Like, you guys were, like, with Zoe, where it's like, why are we doing this, like, blonde girl?
We did not like that he was the TA. I didn't like that he was like her professor TA, whatever the hell. Like that was the thing I didn't like, I think.
that like I was predispositioned to not like anybody as a team Noller that comes in between.
Felicity
But
and Noel. Yeah.
I think like it just goes back to what I said earlier. I don't think I would have a problem with Zoe if we just got to know her more and like spent more time with her. So I think that if she was either present at the end of season 3 or understood their dynamic a bit more throughout season 4, I don't think I would have a problem with Zoe. But I think that Jamie has a good point. Like, you know, like I don't know them together and I don't know Zoe. So then like, how much can I actually care? I think that like seeing how they're a good couple would have been nice versus just hearing about it in that like one moment where Felicity's talking to Zoe as Zoe is leaving the facility of like, you guys are like a really good couple. Why are they a good couple? How are they a good couple? I know that Noel's a good guy. I care about Noel. I don't think Noel's like a nothing, but I just don't know Zoe. And I think that like I was very dismissive of her throughout the season because I had assumed that she was just a girl, which I was clearly wrong about. So, yeah.
I'm going to save one of Jamie's questions for the wrap up because I think it's better suited there. But she also wanted to share some thoughts on the podcast we did with Lindy on the Spin the Bottle episode. You all dragged Felicity for being a bad friend and being self-centered, yet awarded the point of the episode to Ben for cocky Ben. While Felicity may be self-centered, at least she wasn't directly doing things to hurt her friends, unlike Ben. First, Ben decides to go on a date with Julie when he knows Sean is heartbroken over her. I know we're all mad at Sean for what he did to Megan, but Sean has actually been a good friend to Ben. He's constantly letting Ben be late on the rent, which has been going on since freshman year. He's always supported Ben and been there for him to give him advice, even though it's usually bad advice. But he's been a very loyal friend to Ben. Julie should be off limits to Ben. Also, if Ben actually gave a shit about Julie, he would not be trying to put her in the middle of his drama with Felicity, especially considering how he hurt her and how it hurt her in the past. Are we forgetting about the end of season 1? I'm just going to cut in here and Julie and say, Jamie and say, yes, I definitely have forgotten about the end of season 1 by now.
I haven't. Come on, preach, Jamie. Say what I want you to say.
When Ben and Julie break up with him, Ben had Julie break up with him and then waited 5 minutes before he started pursuing Felicity, who was Julie's best friend. If Ben wants to make Felicity jealous, he could pick a random hoe or, oh my God, Jamie, or reach out to Avery or Maggie. But to involve Julie, who has already been hurt by them in the past, is incredibly cruel, in my opinion. And then in Felicity Interrupted, he invites himself to go with Julie on a road trip and then backs out as soon as Felicity is willing to take him back. That total dick move. That was me saying that. To top it all off, he once again can't bring himself to tell her and leaves it up to her to tell him to stay when he had already made that decision. Julie has never been my favorite, but she handled that situation with a lot more grace than Ben deserved. Yet he gets a point and Felicity is the worst. Personally, I think Ben and Felicity are a lot alike, which is why they probably can't stay away from each other.
It's true.
We were really just in it for the cocky. Well,
okay.
Truly.
In my defense, I clearly remember I got outvoted in that situation. So I'm not claiming that energy, Jamie. I did not want to give the point to Ben, and it was 2 against 1. So.
I was all in on cocky Ben. I make no apologies. I thought he wouldn't giving me joy that I needed to get through this last.
I did not find it joyful.
I did. I find it incredibly joyful because he was being the worst.
He is the worst. Actually, I have a question for you, DBK, because like I feel like now that we've seen the entire series, what exactly is it about Julie that you fucking despise?
What a great question.
She's not a good friend. Like in this episode, like I thought Jamie was gonna point out, like her beef with Felicity was, hey, I dated Ben, I broke up with Ben, and then you immediately tried to date Ben. That's fucked up. Don't do that. We're friends. Hi, I'm Felicity. I dated Ben. We broke up. I'm Julie. I immediately want to date Ben. We're friends. That's not fucked up. I'm not doing anything wrong. Like it's the exact same thing that you're doing in this timeline that you had an issue with. So like I'm gonna always be that guy on the subway that said to Julie, "Yo, what's your problem?" Like, of course she would go for bed. Like it makes no sense to me. She's like a terrible friend. She's all in Sean's apartment after like you guys were like, oh, Sean would make her so uncomfortable. Like basically she invited herself to stay at Sean's apartment. Then she gets uncomfortable because Sean like takes it wrong or whatever. Then she invites herself to go stay at Felicity's house, which you blamed Felicity for, even though Megan's there. So that's fucked up. Like, she's terrible always and forever. And like I love the Pig Granger, but Julie Emmerich sucks. And once again, she doesn't know where Dollywood is. She's supposed to be a Dolly Parton fan.
Can I posit that the only and this is only on the girls, I'm not including the guys in this, the only good friend on this show is Megan. The only actually solid friend is Megan. Elena maybe comes in second for me, but I do think there are times when she's rough as a friend.
She's too abrasive.
She's very abrasive, and then maybe that works for some people, but it won't work for everyone in a way where I feel like Megan is like hard on the outside but soft on the inside, so she does have that ability to tap into that softer side, you know.
Megan has like a skill that I don't think Elena does, is that like she's going to be hard and she can tell you how it is, but she also can read a room, and I think that just like she has that like natural empathy, sympathy that is just like, oh, it's not a moment for me to like be uber harsh with you right now. You need to be handled with like kids' gloves in a way, which like I think for somebody that's like sensitive, like Felicity can be, like we need, or like that's like a friend that I would feel more comfortable with, versus Elena, who I think is just like tell it how it is, uber harsh, like doesn't really have the ability to be like, she's not in the mood to be like, you know, to be like reprimanded, or like she needs to be handled like more delicately. I agree. Like I think that Megan's a great friend. And I think that like with Julie, I think like the stuff I was like thinking that like it was like the fact that Julie has led on Sean in either intentionally or unintentionally like 1,000,000,001 times. Like maybe that's like a Sean issue that like that, you know, he knows like when a person, well, I don't know, Megan's like not really a person that like all the time like shows like that she likes somebody, whatever. I'm just saying that like I can definitely get on her Julie's case about like the Sean thing. And I also think that Julie doesn't always, I don't know, because like she like literally asked Felicity like, is it okay, like maybe like we can get on like the fact that like Julie should just automatically assume that it's not okay because it's an ex. Like I guess like we can do that, but at least she asked.
And it's Ben though.
It's Ben. Like there's certain people that should be like off limits. Like I don't think that like if like I don't think I would be going after my friends like greatest love, like even if I had feelings for them and they're not working out. Like I feel like there's definitely people that should be off limits if you are truly a friend.
Like Noel and Ben should probably be off limits, even though Noel not really, but
yeah, but like is she claiming like every
no, but like
galaxy?
Like she could date she could date the guy we hate. She could date David.
She only can date losers.
But what happens if like Julie, like this is obviously not the case, but like what happens if Julie really is like supposed to be with one of the two, one of the boys?
The thing is the reason I don't take umbrage with Julie wanting to date Ben is because Felicity is with Noel at this point. Like if you are literally with another person trying to move in with said person, then you shouldn't have a problem with your friend who you're not even really friends with anymore.
You can't
wants
be
to date your ex.
Everybody.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Problem. Jessica, maybe I'm like like more than halfway through The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I have the same issue with the main character there. Like, you can't be claiming on the boys.
You can't just piss on every boy around.
Yeah, like not all the boys belong to you. You have to give some to Taylor, you know?
Are all the boys two?
Yeah, there's 2 boys in
there's
in,
two
in this one too.
There's a brother. Which I'm like, you know what? Have your friend be with the brother, but the friend doesn't seem very interested in the brother. But then you know have an issue with the brother too.
The problem is that I am on the 3rd book in that series, and I hate everyone right now, and that's not very good. But it's a short book, so
just like Felicity.
Yeah, it's true. It really is. Okay, and now a voicemail I've been waiting to listen to. Our dear friend Todd the librarian has sent in a voicemail that he has told me is a rant on the ending of Felicity. So I'm really excited to listen to this because I haven't listened to it yet. So let's buckle up, folks, and hear what Todd has to say.
So let's talk about the Elena of it all, shall we? First of all, killing off Elena was dumb. Just plain dumb. There are so many other ways they could have come up with for Felicity to be withdrawing from Ben to get him to cheat on her if they wanted to go that path. They didn't have to kill off one of our main characters.
Preach.
They could have killed off someone else that we didn't care about, for crying out loud, or had some other thing throw her into this existential spiral. But no, they had to kill Elena, which, okay. Even if they do that, and then they introduce time travel as a way to get Felicity to deal with her problems with Ben, they should have at least focused on the fact that her friend is alive in more than just like a throwaway, oh, Elena, you're here thing, and then have Felicity completely ignore her the rest of the time because she's too busy trying to figure out which one of her 2 boy toys she should wind up with. Dumb. Just makes Felicity seem like the most self-involved person on the face of the planet. And then to throw us a crumb at the end by like, look, you thought it was a dream, but Elena's actually alive. Everything's great now. Except, why did Ben cheat on Felicity then if Elena never died and Felicity didn't withdraw because of that? It makes no sense. There's no actual reconciliation of all of this. There's no reunion between Felicity and Elena other than a little thing. Elena gets 0 lines. Revived Elena gets 0 lines in the finale. Now, I can kind of headcanon why Elena is alive because of how the spell worked with getting Felicity back to the present because it's working with her memories. So, in theory, this new timeline that Felicity's coming back to has been subconsciously shaped by herself so that Elena survives. They don't give that any sort of lip service in the actual episode. Instead, it's all about, I have to go to the future to save Noel because he died in this timeline. I'm not even mentioning that me going back to the original timeline means that Elena will be dead, because why would they want to address that? And of course, we find out later they did address that in the deleted scenes, but the deleted scenes make 0 sense! Make 0 sense! Because the timeline in which Felicity tells Elena, don't go to the school, Noel's already fucking dead! So, it makes no sense! I'm glad they cut those scenes because it would just infuriate me more. When I saw those deleted scenes years later, it just made me madder than I already was. The whole thing sucks! It sucks! It sucks so much! Thank you for your time.
I remember asking Todd how long after he saw the finale that he saw those clips that were cut, and he said it was like 20-something years. Wow. And I was like, poor Todd, truly poor Todd, to have to sit with that finale not knowing the Elena stuff for 20 years.
20 years.
No wonder he's lost his mind about it.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you, Todd.
I love a Todd rant. Losing it, absolutely losing it. I mean, it's understandable.
Yeah. I think he only discovered the scenes after we started podcasting about Felicity. So within the past few years.
Wow.
That's when he saw those for the first time.
Woof.
It's fucked. It's totally fucked. So yeah, and I remember, like, this was a big thing. I think Todd said that when we first started covering Felicity, he was the most excited for us to get to the time travel stuff, just because it is so fucking unhinged, and like, this isn't a show that does time travel, so now it's doing time travel. But we do have one more thing to do, I guess. Should we give out a point for a character in both the penultimate and the finale? Like, we got to do it, right?
Yes.
Like, Who, DBK, you probably have a strong argument. Who should get a point in the penultimate?
In the penultimate, it's like Megan, right?
Yes, I think so. I love what she does.
She's
to
being
Sean.
like a good friend. She does. It's hilarious what she does to Sean, and then like she's giving Ben and Noel shit for committing Felicity. So
and she finds Korsakoff too.
Yeah, and she finds Korsakoff, and then in the finale, why not? We end off. We give Felicity the point. She travels back and like she gets back to the right timeline. You know, she gets back with Ben, which people like, and technically she saved Elena's life. So like, screw all the people that says she's selfish and only cares about herself. That's my argument. I know you don't want to give it to Felicity, but I mean, who else can you give it to? It's a clip show.
Elena for living.
No.
What do you think, Sarah?
I would give it to Korsakoff or Felicity.
I don't want to give it to some rando. I don't even know.
Then give it to Felicity.
Oh, fine. I don't want to give it to her either, but you know what? Whatever. At least we got to see some clips where she had pretty hair. So there's that, I guess. Her hair looked good in the original, the very, very, very first scene of the show.
She even said you guys care way too much about it in the show. Everyone had an opinion.
Oh, her hair? Yeah.
About your hair. Oh, well, yeah, about that too.
Yeah. Yeah. So funny. Okay, great. Well, we'll tally those points next podcast in our series wrap up. We have one more podcast to go where we're going to talk all through all 4 seasons, what we loved, what we hated, the highs, the lows, everything in between. And I'll do in part to you, DBK. So after I watched that finale, DBK, I was like, I don't know whether to condemn you or thank you for this experience. I did enjoy the first 2.5 seasons, probably. So we have that going for us.
I apologize for season 4. I will admit I didn't think it was this bad. Like but yeah, it's not. Season 4 is not good. I think the first 3 seasons are fine, but yeah, it does. I feel like it does go down after season 2. I feel like weirdly when the color palette changes, like that's like a really big thing for me, because she's like really like doesn't wear bright stuff in the first like season at all. It's like very like, I don't know, when it's not shot on a potato, I feel like
we lose some of it.
Yeah,
Sarah loves the potato.
Good.
Maybe that's it for me. But then
bring
I
back
just
the
have
potato.
I would like to thank you guys for covering this show. If it makes you happy, Jess, there was a lot of times I'm like listening to you and I'm just infuriated by like some of the things you say. Like R.I.P. to my cat that I lost this year. I'm so happy she didn't have to hear all the mean things you said about her namesake. I'm cat sitting right now, so it's okay.
What's the name of the cat you're cat sitting?
Kobe. He's on the couch right now.
Shouts to Kobe.
Yeah. But I would like to ask some questions for the finale, or for people like way smarter than me. My like biggest question. So there's like some things that really bothered you guys that like I've never had an issue with. So I'm just like curious if like I'm the only one. Felicity being a doctor, like that, like never bothered me. Like how upset you guys were that like
the whiplash.
It was the whiplash.
So I would like to know if that like is, because I've watched this show so many, like it never even registered for me.
What do you think of our like our consolidation prize of like, what if she was like an art therapist or something? What do you think of that as like a track instead?
It's fine, but like Felicity's like like it makes so much sense that she's like a doctor. Like it doesn't make sense for her to do something in like art, because she's like, I guess she isn't, I do view her as an artist, but like I don't, like Felicity's a doctor. And then I'm curious about if people like Sean and Megan, and then I'm also curious if like everyone else hates like Sally, because it'd always be funny to me that like ladies that do a podcast hate Sally so much.
Man, I forgot that we didn't even get to meet Sally. What's the deal with Sally?
Janine Garoppolo.
Yeah, I still think that she was a figment of Felicity's imagination.
All right, everybody. So send us in your feedback. Don't forget, shit90spod@gmail.com or shit90spod.com. Does Felicity being a doctor work for you? How do you feel about Megan and Sean? And how do you feel about Sally? Do you hate Sally as much as Sarah and I did throughout the series? Oh, that's so funny. Anything else, DBK? Anything else you want to get off your chest about the show, about us, about the podcast, about anything?
No, I love the podcast. You guys are one of my favorites. Once again, thank you for covering probably my favorite show. Like I watched this entire show before you started covering it, just to have like my own note. Like I'll watch this again just because like of how meanly you talked about Felicity in season 4. I gotta watch season 1 and 2 to get the stink off.
Yeah,
just I really appreciate it. I'm like, thank you for like letting me come on because I'm just some random dude that you guys don't know. So
you're our friend.
Yeah, now we know you.
Well, but still, like, thank you for letting me on your podcast. I love, like everything you guys do. I'm like, yeah, so just I really appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's and then just which like of the random for next one, which random character would you have liked to be like more of a thing on the show? Because that's like for me, season 1 and 2, I think that's like I feel like your critiques, I feel like the show could never really handle the B plot. They were always good with the A plot, but maybe the B, because the B plot was always like kind of stupid or comedy maybe. But I feel like the good of the show is when like we had the like random guys in the building in res and like
and the door,
the lady Noel, the Russian chick that Noel goes to the vending machine.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about her.
So like I really like the charm of the show when we just have these like the black RA, the RA with the crazy hair about the alphabet. Like I really like that. Maybe it could be a DeForest, like someone that actually had a story arc. For Sarah, we obviously know it's going to be Avery.
I love that crazy bitch.
But like, you know what I mean? Like I really love the show when it just has these like random weird characters that are just showing up, like Gilmore Girls lady at the protest that was like a friend for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So like that's the charm of the show to me. I love like Monica showing up and she's a friend for an episode. Like, so yeah.
I am interested if I can like manage. It's a short season, right? To rewatch season 1, especially since I was like
20.
22 episodes. You're thinking of Buffy was the short
yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna watch the first 10 episodes of season 1 now. I'm curious if like on a rewatch, especially with like all the context, if I would feel differently about season 1 because I was grumpy about it at the time. But yeah. I appreciate you, DBK, and everything that, our journey together and our friendship and your support. Thank you. As well as like with everybody that's been on this journey in our previous journeys.
Yeah. And hopefully anyone who has listened to us cover Felicity is also listening to us cover Buffy, which we're still doing. We just finished season 4. We're doing our season 4 wrap up of Buffy, coincidentally, as coincided with Felicity ending. And for those of you wondering what we're doing in the future, we are most certainly taking the rest of the summer to just focus on Buffy. Because we both have pretty busy personal lives. We want to be able to do some stuff there. But we probably are going to be doing some bonus content after the summer, because we really have fallen off of that. Our lives got busy and we've already been covering 2 shows. So if you have recommendations, bonus stuff you want us to cover, movies, whatever, send those in, shenanigspod@gmail.com. And we'll take a look and we'll keep you posted. We're always bopping around. And if you really want to hear us talk, listen to Buffy, because that's what we're going to be focusing on. But yeah, we will be back next week to wrap up everything with Felicity. So if you have any thoughts on your experiences with Felicity, make sure you send those in. And I think that's everything we've got. So until next time, everyone, have a good one. Goodbye.
Just ask. Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.